G'day, it's Joel from Airbourne here, and we're talking about crazy tour stories. And here we are in America, and back in the day there was these tours called the Uproar Energy Drinks tours, and there was the Mayhem tours, and I actually we did two of them, one each, but I don't know which tour this was on. But I know Hailstorm were on this tour, and because it was the first time we seen them, and they were great, and they still are, great band. And this was one of our first times being in America, and back to the big bottles of like whiskey and stuff. Like, we had never seen bottles this size. I don't know what you call them out here, but they're like buckets of whiskey. And we used to drink this stuff all the time. And anyway, we're on this one of these energy drink tours, and I remember we somewhere in the middle of the tour. We always had these big barbecues. Hell yeah, was I think cooking the barbecue that night, and I got really drunk, really drunk, and I don't remember how this happened, but Adam, our stage manager, does. He's the guy who actually got me out of this situation. I had somehow been really drunk trying to find our tour bus, and I, for some reason, thought this was our tour bus. It was Hailstorm's bus, and couldn't figure out the lock, because there's a lock on the front of each of the, it's a code, like it's a numerical code, and I was pressing and it wasn't working. This would have been about 4 AM or something. So no one answered the door, and I couldn't get in, because I'm thinking, oh, it's our bus, but I can't get in. But it was Hailstorm's bus, so there's no way I was getting in. And so I've decided to lie down on the ground next to the bus, thinking that someone will find me. And then I've fallen asleep. Somehow I've crawled underneath the back wheel well, under the back of the bus, and I'm lying under the bus, and the only thing sticking out of there was my feet. And my whole body, everything is under the bus. And I remember this part, I remember being nice and cool under there, because it was such a hot day. I was like, this is a nice place to sleep. I'm really drunk, I just want to sleep under here. And I'm sleeping under there. And then this is, I don't remember anything else. If it wasn't for the driver, Hailstorm's driver at the time, who was doing the tyre check. You know, they tap the tyres, so he's going around, he's tapping the tyres, and he goes, what are these two pair of feet doing under here? Oh, they're attached to a person. Okay. So then I've got my tour lammy on me, my laminate, which says Airbourne, you know, and then so then he's gotten on the radio, called production at the festival, who's then radioed our guys and said, we've got one of your members underneath a bus. And they're like, oh, has the bus moved yet? No, the bus hasn't moved, because luckily today, for the first time in a long time, I decided to check the tyres because they were getting a bit worn down or something. For some reason he decided to do it. And then so our stage manager Adam comes to rescue me, pulls me out of the bus, carries me back to our bus like a wounded deer. And I remember waking up the next day in the back lounge where we were before, and it was was carpeted though. And I remember just there was vomit everywhere. I was really sick, and he told me the story. I was like, shit, I'm actually lucky to be alive. It would be a pancake under a bus, which could have been really bad. So thank you to Hailstorm and their bus driver for making sure that I did not die underneath their bus.